Imagine a town frozen in time. In a remote part of South Africa lies Oranje, a small isolated community where some say apartheid lives on.
Oranje is a whites-only town. Black people cannot live or work here. Every job is reserved for the whites.
Do I believe that places like Oranje should exist? No. Do I believe that Oranje is racist? Of course. Those are the bad things, but there's also good things happening in Oranje.
If you want to live in Oranje, you have to meet certain requirements. The first and most important is you have to be a white Afrikaner. Afrikaners are descendants of Dutch settlers who played a key role in establishing and enforcing apartheid. You also need to be a Calvinist Christian, have a clean criminal record, and speak Afrikaans only within the enclave. Oranje is a relatively small community of about 3,000 people, but they have big ambitions and are growing fast. They have their own local government, currency, flag, college, farms, a bank, and their own rules. Critics call them racists, but supporters say it's a place for cultural preservation and self-determination. This has sparked heated debates about Oranje's place in modern-day South Africa. I want to find out the truth about Oranje and see it for myself. What drives people to live in such a secluded and controversial place? How do they balance their ideals with modern South Africa? By making the 9-hour journey from Cape Town, I hope to answer these questions, meet the locals, and share the real story behind this unique community. Construction workers and decided to pull over for a quick chat. Prior to our trip, I had researched Oranje and learned that the town takes pride in conducting its own labor. They view this practice as a departure from exploitative colonial labor practices that historically relied on cheap black labor for strenuous or menial tasks. We're just staying at the town for a few days.
Okay.
And we just wanted to know from you guys what it's like to live here.
I'm here for 5 years.
You've been here for 5 years?
Yeah, and I really enjoy it.
And what about this town makes it different to other places around South Africa?
I think, like what you see, we use our own workforce, and it's a culture thing. I say, nay, I come from Natal, and I know Natal very well. And if you go to Keatsdrift in Natal, or to Gela Ferry, it's black. There's no whites there. So they make it a big deal, but most popular places in Natal all over, it's black. And it's not about white and black. It's definitely not. I speak the lingo and I enjoy it. To be unified in I won't say whites, but in a cultural effect. That's it.
And what are your favorite things about Oranje?
Have you ever seen a 16 or 17-year-old girl walk around 9 o'clock at night? Anywhere in South Africa?
It's not common.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have burglar guards, and if they leave a bike somewhere, tomorrow morning it's still there.
Well, thank you so much for speaking. I really appreciate it. Hi, what's your name?
Anala Schumann.
Nice to meet you. I'm Josh.
Nice to meet you.
I wanted to know, what is it like living in Oranje as a young person, as a person in general?
So I've grown up here. I'm living here 20 years and counting. I finished school last year and I'm working here and studying online. And I think it shows how Oranje is for me, not leaving right after school. It's very safe. The community, it's one. The people are together, and the opportunities we have, like here tonight at our Action Netball event, there's always something to do in Oranje.
And do you think you would live here for the rest of your life?
No, I would very much like to go out and see South Africa tour, and so maybe the world, but for long term, yes, I would definitely come back and live here.
What is there to do around here? You say there's like a lot of things to do. What do you guys get up to as like college students, I guess?
The river is my favorite place, and I know a lot of girls do horse riding. Not my cup of tea. My hobby is netball. So yes, I live for the sport and whatever opportunities I have with it in Oranje.
The next day, we were woken up by a call from Joost. asking if we wanted to film the arrival of a new battery that would be used to power the town during rolling blackouts. One of Oranye's long-term goals is to become fully independent from South Africa's unreliable power grid, managed by Eskom. In South Africa, we experience something called load shedding. Load shedding is a controlled process where Eskom turns off electricity in certain areas to prevent the entire power grid from failing due to insufficient supply. Installing this new battery is a significant step towards Oranye's goal of becoming fully independent and completely off the national power grid.
Oranye's new battery is actually arriving. Since Oranye's inception, we've been focusing on working towards energy independence. And this is one step closer. A 4.8 megawatt hour battery is arriving today. It's been a long process. We've been working with, financing it, making plans, working with the technical requirements and everything. And today the battery is actually arriving. It's going to be 2 shipping containers with massive batteries. And the town is here to see it. It's a historic moment in Oranye's history. One step closer to energy independence, being able to survive through load shedding from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. so that our economy can go on and our people can work. It doesn't matter if it's stage 0, stage 3 or stage 6 load shedding, we can continue with our jobs.
And what does energy independence mean for Oranje?
Energy independence is obviously being off-grid would be ideal, but it's not necessarily all we're working towards. Being in a situation where we can dictate when we have energy or not being dependent on failing institutions would be ideal for us.
What is the next step in making Oranje fully independent from Eskom?
More solar farms, more initiatives for our people to put solar on their roofs, on their businesses. The Northern Cape is, here in Oranje specifically, is one of the best places on earth in terms of solar, in terms of daylight hours. Solar is absolutely fantastic for us as an option. So doing that and pushing initiatives on our people, just gonna help a lot with that.
After spending the past few days in Oranje, I'm leaving with mixed emotions. When I first arrived, my view of this place was shaped by what I had seen in the news. A town living in the past, reminiscent of apartheid days, filled with people holding on to racist ideologies. While those facts might be true to some extent, they don't tell the full story. During my time in Oranje, I met people who had moved there for various reasons. Many of them are unhappy with the state of South Africa and seek to live in a place where they have more control over the way their community is governed. Others want to be surrounded by people who share their cultural values and vision for the future. And some were born there, and to them, it's the only home they know. Many people say a town like Oranje shouldn't exist. While I don't feel it's my place to say whether I agree or not, I can say that Oranje does exist. It's a real community that is thriving and growing by the day. A place where people live, work, and support each other.